Today is November 14th, almost 3 days after Hurricane Dorian. At least one of these days you come at the beach and you kind of take your mind away from everything. 3 months in, still without a city, still without a job, still without a comfortable place to call home. Things that people take for granted is your own pillow, your own bed. That's all I ask for, my own stuff, own keys to lock yourself in. The things that we in Abaco took so much for granted. And the hard thing about it is that we don't know when we'll get those things back again. You imagine can't get your own pillow, your own bed. And September 1st will always be one of the worst days in my life. And you're just hoping and praying for some sense of normalcy. And this is what it looks like in the Bahamas before a cold front comes through. Last evening is rainy, it's windy, a rage is on. But you come to the seas and watch Mother Nature at its best in the background. There you can see the waves. That's what happens when a cold front is about to push through. We call it a cold front here in the Bahamas. When it comes to the upper 60, that's freezing. We take out our main coat, our fur hats, and we're ready. It's better don't go into the 50. We'll be shaking like a leaf in the hurricane. But we have so much to be grateful for, if you could call it that, life. I always said, hey, we could have been in a better place. Then we don't have to worry about our pillows, our blanket, our keys to lock our home in, our vehicle that we could roam around out of traffic in Nassau. It takes an hour minimum to go 3 miles. In Abaco, we could drive from here to Treasure Key in 20 minutes, and not a problem. And the thing that irritates me in Nassau is everybody is in a hurry, everybody's rude, everybody's blowing their horn, and they don't ever say thank you, God, that I could be here. If they only would have known what Abaco went through, and if a Category 5 would have hit Nassau, how would they react? The sad thing in Abaco and all this fiasco is that there's no leadership at all from our Member of Parliament. And as I'm on this beach and I'm trying to reflect 3 months in, it kind of will get you a little angry that just a couple of years ago we went to the poll, and people that's supposed to speak for us doesn't speak to us. That is kind of a mind-boggling. And the people of Abaco now realize why Kai Mills wanted to run. Kai Mills was born for this time, to be a spokesman, to be somebody that you could speak with, speak to, and get some results. Even that will be so beautiful to Abaco. I've noted with anger, with regret, with disrespect, that our illustrious Prime Minister came into Abaco, went into Green Turkey, had a meeting, Guanaki had a meeting, into Manawa, Hope Town had a town meeting. But lo and behold, the largest affected area in Abaco, Mashaba, the capital, Dundas Town and Central Pines, one of the biggest communities in, not one of, the biggest community in North Abaco, along with Murphy Town. There has not been one town meeting by members of parliament, James Albury, Darren Henfield, Hiram Lewis, the Prime Minister. How could it be sensible, progressive, intelligent people? How could it be that they went to all the outskirts, but the largest affected areas, Mashaba, the capital, Dundas, Central Pan, and Murphytown, there has not been one inkling of dialogue to the people that been affected mostly and still being unattended to 3 months in. How is that possible? The small thing of some roof repair. During Hurricane Floyd, 1 week after Hurricane Floyd, there is not enough material, 1 week on the ground, barges and barges of material to get us into some homes, to some sense of normalcy. 3 months later, this administration has not bring 50 sheets of plywood. Something is wrong with that. Something is really wrong with that. And I wish that I was able to sit at the table, and Abaco need to sit to the table, because if you are doing the rebuilding for Abaco and Abaconians should have an input on them and a way forward. We shouldn't have, like how we see all the construction, all these bulldozers and tractors from people from Nassau that are in Abaco. Don't give a hell about Abaco, nor Abaconians, or the rebuilding of Abaco. All they are there is using our near-death experience to pocket money through their companies, through their political colleagues, and they're bringing their own people in, excluding Abaco from the monetary fund that is directly was spent and was needed and is needed to rebuild the life of Abaconians. There is a lot of money and in confusion. We in Abaco are confused because we were evacuated, and they've sat down to the table in Nassau with all the contractors, the construction people that are not from Abaco, nor know Abaconians, nor do they give a hell about Abaconians, nor do they give a hell about the rebellion and rebuilding of Abaconians' life or Abaco. These parasites have sat to the table, have been visibly quiet, intentionally, to see who the players are. And the players that are benefiting from our destruction, their death experience, is not Abaconian. It is so sad that to date, the government of the Bahamas have sat to the table with the people from Manawa, Green Turtle Key, Guana Key, and indeed Hopetown. But the mind-boggling thing about this is the most immediate affected areas, the largest affected area of Mashaba, the capital, Dundas and Central Pines, and Murphytown. Nobody have sat down to the table with us. We have an elected local government board. We are people that knows how to rebuild our lives. But people are sitting at the table and gaining monetary funds in Bulldoze and Abaco without any concern about a way forward for Abaconians. Abaconians need to sit at the table. Abaconians need to have an input on how their lives should be restructured. How they have all these people, over $10 million has been expended, and not a soul that we have elected has sat to the table with indigenous Abaconians and asked Kai Mills, what should we do to make your life better coming forward? All the money has been given to Nassau people with these huge construction company without any regards to the people that has been affected. For 3 months, nobody has sat down to the table with nobody from Abaco in the largest area that has been affected to ask us, what do we want? Don't shove nothing down our throat. We don't want you to choke with garbage. We want some real answers. We want some real results. So far, 3 months in, all I can do is watch the side. Remind me of the song. All we're doing is sitting by the dock of the bay. And all I can do is watch the tide roll away. Because so far, nobody has cared for Abaconians. So I'm gonna watch the waves and watch the tide go to sea. Because that's all what's happening with us our life. I know that Abaco and Abaconians will never, ever be the same again. We will never see the people we call neighbors again in Abaco. Some of them will never come back. But the ones that has the internal fortitude, like Kai Mills, that want to rebuild, want to be a part of the rebuilding, you shouldn't push us aside. You should invite us gladly to the table. You're here live on the beach, watching the tide roll away like they're watching our lives roll away 3 months in. And nothing has been done with Abaconians in mind. It's all about the cronies in Nassau and the politicians that are giving them friends millions and millions of dollars, and it is not benefiting indigenous Abaconians. You're here live on WCAY.